amazing people today for our launch party for Ben Schenkman's My Brother's Keeper, amazing book. So thank you, Michael, Chris, and Andrew for showing up today. And of course, Ben, for letting us celebrate you today. So if you guys don't mind just introducing yourselves. Chris, do you mind going first? You're kind of at the top for me, so I
Yeah.
assume it's the same for everybody.
Yeah, no problem at all. I'm Chris, Bearded Book Beast. I do a podcast channel a lot like Daniel does here. So yeah, check it out. But today I'm just excited to be here to help celebrate Ben. He's been on my channel, and we celebrated another new book coming out. And I've read his work, and it's all awesome. So I'm really excited about this new one. So congrats, my friend, and I'm glad I could be here for this.
Appreciate it.
Nice.
And then, Ben, do you mind
I'll jump
introducing
in.
yourself as well?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead,
sure.
Michael. Go ahead.
Oh,
No, it's cool. One of us is gonna go at some point. I'll take it away then. Hey, folks, I'm Michael Vadney. I am the host of the Author
ahead, Mike.
Adjacent podcast and author of Crownfall. I had the distinct pleasure of reading My Brother's Keeper, and it's pretty awesome. A nice, interesting twist on the classic urban fantasy, and I think people will really enjoy it.
That's awesome.
all right.
Thank you
I'll
so much,
introduce
Michael.
myself now.
Do you want to go last, Ben? Will Andrew go next?
Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead.
I'm stressed.
Madness.
I just want to get it over with.
Sorry, Ben. It keeps coming out of me. It's just fixed today to do that.
Oh, of course, right? My name is Andrew Givler. I'm a urban fantasy author. I write a series called The Debt Collection. And Ben and I have actually swapped blurbs before. I read My Boss is the Devil, and I'm excited for him to keep pushing out indie urban fantasy because we need more of it. So I'm excited to be here and to celebrate a victory for indie urban fantasy. Let's go.
Fantastic. And
That's awesome. Thank you so much
Last
for
but not
being here,
least-
Andrew. We appreciate it.
I am Ben Schenkman, urban fantasy author and audiobook narrator, because that first series I also narrate and produce my own audiobooks. And yeah, this is fantastic. Thank you all for being here. And Michael, Crownfall looks amazing. I can't wait to read it. And Andrew, I have read all of the Debt Collection, and it continues to be amazing.
Thank you very much.
Chris, I know you're working on things, so I will be here for when that happens, whenever that drops. So, and same for you, Daniel. So, thank you all for being here. This is phenomenal.
Awesome. Well, again, we appreciate everybody showing up in the live as well as in the chat. But yeah, let's get this thing started. So, Ben, do you mind? I'll just kind of start us off. Do you mind telling us about your new book, My Brother's Keeper? Just giving us a little, info on that, and then we'll kind of round robin and ask questions that way.
You mean this book? Yes. Yeah, My Brother's
I
Keeper
do.
is
I love that
my latest urban fantasy. It's a new series. It's called The Cycle of Ash. Right now, I've got 3 different series in the works. This is also very special to me because one of the things that I feel like is somewhat lacking, if you thought that indie urban fantasy didn't have enough good things put out, in urban fantasy or fantasy in general with Jewish protagonists is, while not impossible to find, less common than you might think. So My Brother's Keeper is my entrant into the world of Jewish urban fantasy. It's got, noir vibes. The book opens in a rainy cemetery during a funeral, and it's pretty. I don't know. I'm sure that folks will have some things to say, but I think the tone is consistent from there.
Always good to start with a death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just really kicks things off there.
Yeah, it's sunshine and rainbows from there.
I do
of
like
course.
Ben where the blurb I was just gonna say I love where the blurb and I've been posting for people, so make sure you guys go to the description, check it out. I'll make sure I keep posting, but it's awesome because it goes right from there, and then you're literally in chapter 1 and you're just starting. So I thought that was really cool. It really got us right in to the book, literally right from the first sentence. So it was really cool.
Yeah, where do you want me to start? I can tell folks about more of the story or what?
Well, here, I can kick us off with the first question if you like.
Yeah, go
if
right
you're
ahead.
ready. I'm actually very curious. So Max, your main character, he echoes a lot of like classic urban fantasy protagonists, especially with being like a PI and investigator and such. What were your guiding principles when shaping this character, especially in contrast with like everybody knows about the staples like Harry Dresden and stuff like that. And there was definitely a distinct difference between him and this character that we all knew. But I was kind of curious, how did you come up with that to make him distinct?
I really like that question. In part because I'm going to have to pull an answer out of thin air for some of that.
Success.
So the private investigator, like the detective or PI trope, absolutely 100% a staple of urban fantasy. What makes Max different is not that he's reluctant or sarcastic, because those two are also tropes of urban fantasy protagonists. I think one thing that sets my protagonist in general, so Max being one of them, I think what sets him apart, besides being Jewish, is I think he's got a lot of heart, in a way that isn't just like you get urban fantasy protagonists have heart. They have chutzpah, they have like bravery and all of that. But like my protagonists in general have a lot of empathy and kind of this interpersonal connection that I think a lot of urban fantasy protagonists don't necessarily, or at least urban fantasy like male protagonists, because he's not a lone wolf, macho loner that's gonna do his own thing. It starts from the lens of not just Max at a funeral, but Max holding the hand of his nephew to bring him to the grave to do his part in the ceremony. So like I think from the start I set him up as extremely sympathetic. So I guess maybe just that, like my guiding principle was that he's not solving this because it's his job. Specifically, he didn't want it to be a job. He's doing this because he wants to put his brother, his twin, to rest. And ultimately then there's like a really big found family bit in that he's estranged, but then he learns how to be, a brother-in-law and Uncle Max. So I think it wraps the character in some layers of realism, just like it's not slice of life. Like if you want some more slice of life, go to my earlier stuff. Like The Devil You Know is a little more that, but nonetheless, those guiding principles of this is a real person is like one of my big things for creating characters.
Yeah, that whole scene in the beginning really humanizes him very quickly, especially with his nephew. Like a lot of those character interactions between the family, the three of them, were just like, oh, you're breaking my heart.
Yeah, they say what they it's the if you want to make a character immediately sympathetic, have them save a cat. That's like that's where save the cat comes from. But apparently mine is like kill your brother and then solve that. That's how I humanize characters, is I kill family members and then
Success.
Yes. I have a question because this is a thing I've been thinking about lately, and I'm jealous of you because you keep getting to start new series. And my question for you is: have you learned any lessons from getting to do multiple book ones now, especially in urban fantasy? Like as you go, that like you're setting yourself up better for the series and like the tone of what you want to do. This will be your first book, right? Yeah.
It is, and actually, I love that question because I actually do have an answer to that one. No, it's funny though because I've been thinking about that. So my boss is the devil starts out very slice of life. It's the coffee ritual in the morning, and I get to do that. And for some people that starts slow. In my second series starter, Let Sleeping Gods Lie, the first chapter starts off with talking about how the guy jumps off a roof and then having him jump off a roof. And so like, because I was trying specifically to be more on brand for urban fantasy and that I wanted an action-packed start. But then for some people, it turned out the pace was actually too relentless in the first book in that series. And so starting My Brother's Keeper, I wanted to go for, like, I was going for a vibe, and I feel like I hit it because it was that, like, it's not the Batman thing, but it's the person with the kid and the rain and the umbrella, and it's that noir gritty vibe. So yeah, starting another series, I chose very intentionally to make it solemn and meaningful, but not action packed, but not slice of life. So like, yeah, I'm definitely like, it's also, you have to differentiate your series. Cause like, just for you, like Andrew, if Ironbound started the way that Soul Fraud did, it'd be like, we're just writing the same book over again in a different font, So I specifically have chosen, and actually the cover design too, and you can kind of see it behind Chris, is that I've got silhouette covers for the first series. I've got fully illustrated for the second series, and then for this one, it's an object-based cover. So like, I've done a lot of things very intentionally to differentiate the series from each other. So like, I really like the question because I did make some very intentional choices there.
I think also too, I know this one is, and the original is everything you've done in first person.
I am an absolute purist for first person urban fantasy.
But
yeah.
but the thing is, like, that is, I think, another thing you also have to figure out how to differentiate, right? Because it's like when you're in someone's head, it's like it has to be different from the inside out, which is tricky at times. So I feel this. I feel your pain on this. Yes.
It's very true though, and I have so far, I feel like, managed to make the inner monologue of the three MCs, or I guess in the case of the first series, it evolves into multiple main characters, but I've made their inner monologues different enough. Are they all sarcastic? Yes, because I literally cannot turn that part of my brain off. But there's something, like, again, if I'm going to sit inside their brain and look through their eyes to try to write these books, Nick is like almost painfully optimistic at this point. Corbin is a grumpy college professor / environmentalist. And then Max is like a gritty PI that hasn't slept in 3 days. So like, I try to make it a well-worn place that I can kind of put myself into.
All right, I'll go next.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I think it's a
Yeah, go
good
ahead.
thing though, because like, sorry, Chris.
No, go ahead, Danny.
I was just gonna say, just like, because like I just messaged Ben the other day. I was like, oh, I finished this rough draft for a novella, and I had that issue as I was reading through, and I was like, crap, I have two main characters in it on this like kind of like little mini urban fantasy adventure. And literally as I'm reading through it, I'm like, oh crap, I have this male and female character, and then even like their little attached secondary characters with them. I was like, it read like the same characters almost. So I'm like definitely gonna have to differentiate on like the next draft. So I definitely think that's a really good vein that Andrew was hitting, is like, it is really difficult at times, right? And maybe sometimes the second draft, right, you're like, oh crap, just getting the story out. But now I really have to think about that. So I just really think it's interesting that you guys pointed it out, that Ben, that you really tried to differentiate between the series and the characters and even the covers. So I just think that's super cool.
Yeah, I feel like that's especially important in first person when you have this much closer view of your protagonist and you're constantly in their head and their thoughts and actions. Like, it was very well pulled off in this book.
Thank you.
All right.
Of course.
So speaking of differentiating and the different series, you've started your third series now. You've written all these books, and you know, Andrew can feel this as well. Every time you write a different book, there's something about it that feels different. Every time you start a new series, something's different. But this one has an extra layer with, you know, you wanting to write a Jewish urban fantasy. So I'm just curious, when you were writing it, it felt different already because it's a new character, new world, new book. But did you have that extra layer of, you know, what did it have? Did it feel more special as you wrote it? Did you think deeper as you wrote it? Was there extra pressure as you wrote it because you wanted it to be even more something special? Just speak to us about how that layer affected you writing this book.
There's a lot of layers to that. So I joke in that I call myself Jewish. I'm Jewish, but like I was raised Reform. Yes, I was bar mitzvahed, and for anyone who doesn't know what that is, that means that I had the official, like, I went through the schooling and had the ceremony and all that other stuff that Jewish kids do. But then, like, I haven't been to temple in years, and you know, if I light the candles for Hanukkah, then like that's as deep as it gets. So like this was very interesting because the research that I had to do for the magic system, because this is where it gets extra fun, is that the magic system in My Brother's Keeper is like by the book Jewish mysticism. And the amount of demonology and magic in like Jewish scripture, specifically a book called the Talmud is like the one that a lot of it comes from. There is so much like there's one of the quotes that I use in the book is effectively, if you know, by your right hand sit 10,000 demons. Like there's so much lore within Jewish scripture. So, you know, and I say mythology in that it's what it is. It's mythology and folklore and scripture. And so I actually, and just to give a shout out to the guy that really helped me with this, there's a gentleman named Jack Zients. He goes by the Jewish Monster Hunter, and he is an expert in like Jewish magic, mysticism, demons, and lore. He like lectures on it. And when I was doing my research, I found him and I reached out and I said, so I'm writing this book. Would you consult on it? Like, would you read an early copy of it and then give me feedback on the magic? Because I want to do this right. And he was like, here's my entire like research library of PDFs. It just absolutely gave me the pure download of every resource I could have needed. And like, then I ran ideas by him. He read the book in an early stage and gave feedback specifically on the magic. And the magic system is where it is in the book because of the fact that the source material is great. But B, Jack really helped with that. So like, that's one of the layers in that, just diving into this part of my culture that I barely knew existed. Like I knew that there was magic in Jewish lore, but I did not realize how deep the rabbit hole went. And oh man, it's in there. But then like a couple other things, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm an identical twin. So like writing, also I did tell my brother when I came up with the idea that this book was not about him.
Smart move.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm planning nothing, I swear.
Absolutely not. Yeah,
There's no
I'm just
animosity.
gonna. It's My Brother's Keeper, subtitled "If I Did It." Right. And so yeah, so there's the extra layer. I broke Daniel.
That's very good. That's very good.
So there's the extra layer of the fact that I am an identical twin. So I brought that experience in the, like, if this happened to me, I know some of what would be going through my head. And then on top of that, I did not have to deny myself a single Jewish joke that I made when writing the book.
Nice.
You know, okay, of the panel, does anyone here know what noodle kugel is? Anyone? Anyone?
don't.
Oh,
know?
man, I had to
you're
look it
all-
up.
Yeah. But if you know, then you know that there is one good kind and one bad kind, and that's in the book, because I was like, of course this is going in the book. So yeah, just that there are
I do
so
remember
many.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Sweet Kugel is the devil, and I will not hear a second word about it. It's like, okay, Sweet Kugel is like if someone shows up to the barbecue with coleslaw that has raisins in it.
Oh,
Yeah,
See?
I really like that.
no. Wrong.
And immediately you know what I'm talking about.
I can pick up that vibe.
Yep.
So yeah, so many layers make this book like different than my other ones, because there are so many pieces of it that really are very personal for me.
Yeah.
Like bouncing off of that, then it seems like you really threw a lot of like yourself and your life into this book. Curious question, and if this is too deep, let me know. Has researching this book and like writing it changed your relationship with either like your faith or your brother? Like, has it changed anything?
It hasn't changed my relationship with my brother. Full disclosure, like, my brother doesn't read my books. I don't
He's
know.
missing out.
Yeah, I know,
Mine won't
right?
either. It's okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no. My relationship with my brother hasn't changed. I think he mostly, you know, it. Let's move past that one, and but with my faith, like I'm. Like, how do you? I'm trying to. The word is, I've lost the word, but I'm effectively like a non-religious Jew. It's called humanistic Judaism. It's how I was raised. It's the culture that I am a part of. I'm a tri-state Jew, like born in New Jersey, raised in Connecticut. But like, I'm not religious, but nonetheless, this has absolutely connected me more with, like, I've identified with my Jewish culture more since like writing and researching this book than I have in many years. So yeah, it absolutely has kind of like reconnected me, gotten me more interested in participating in like society more as a Jewish person than just as a person who is Jewish.
I love that, man. That was a good answer.
Very good.
That's very
Good
cool.
question.
Thanks.
Great question.
I am very amused by the fact that you have a twin brother, because I don't know about you guys, and my family reads some of my books, but my dad, when he read my first book, he kept track of what page the character first mentioned his mother and what page he first mentioned his father, and I was like, it's not me. It's like,
This is
he's
not
like,
a
I just
competition.
noticed that his dad didn't come up till page like 75, but mom was there pretty early. And I was like, all right, dad. So I just having to tell your twin brother, no, it's a different twin brother whose dad is great. I love that.
I mean, like the correct answer to that, Andrew, is you're lucky his dad is alive.
Yeah, it's true. I was like, his mom's dead. I don't know what you want.
It sounds like he won and he just doesn't know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I guess question, Andrew, is do you have a sister then?
I do have a sister. I have one younger sister. So far she's not upset at me, but she's probably the proudest. She didn't. So my sister has Down syndrome, so she doesn't read a ton, but she has all of them, and she tells everybody that I've written them. So I'm every time I go, people are like, "Oh, nice to meet you. I've heard so much," and I'm like, ah. My sister's my best marketer.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
super cool.
fantastic.
That's amazing.
How many books are you planning
I have
on
to
for
say
this
that,
series?
like with the
Oh,
just
sorry,
like what
sorry.
Michael was saying. No, it's okay. I just keep cutting out, Andrew. It's okay. Go ahead, Andrew. You go first.
How many books are you planning on for the series? Have you decided? Is it open-ended? Are you having fun?
The toughest question so far. I don't have a good answer.
Another no answer.
No. Oh, Daniel, you've met me. I have answers. It just like I may have to vamp through like making them up, but I have
a
in
great
my
question, though.
head there's at least going to be 3 books. Like if I start a series, if I say it's a series and isn't a standalone, I've pretty much committed to at least 3 books. For anyone who has read this book, then you know that there is a very easy way for me to continue writing as many books as I feel like. But I am really thinking like it's going to have an end at some point because people are going to want to know what happens. And so I'm thinking, so like my first series is actually the main story is capping out at 4 books. Like I have a 4th one of the first series coming out later this year.
Ooh.
Which so another thing that Andrew and I have in common, besides writing sarcastic main characters in urban fantasy, is that our 4th book is about death.
Has to be done.
Wait, this one wasn't?
No. Sorry, the 4th book in the series. So, well, yes, but no. So Andrew, the 4th book in Andrew's series is about death, and so the 4th book in my first series is also about death, and I don't know why. It just so
It just
happened
felt
to
right.
work out. Yeah.
It just felt right.
4th book, death book. That's it. That's the answer.
I
Andrew's
originally
covered.
wanted the death book to be the 3rd book, and I got there and I was like, well, we're not ready for this yet. And I had to come up with an entire book in between those 2 books because I was like, oh, it's not time for death. So I don't know. There's something about book 4 being the death book. I agree.
So like my brother's so the Cycle of Ash is going to be at least 3 books. It could very well be more. I don't love series that don't end. Not because, so like, I'm not going to go on some sort of like high-minded rant about how authors owe readers things, because we don't technically. But I feel like if you're going to start a series, you should finish it, even if it's just like putting a cap on it. And then like, if you pick it up later and write another trilogy and then cap it, like that's fine. But like, George R.R. Martin, Robert Jordan, Patrick Rothfuss, like, stop. Just all of you stop.
To be fair,
Robert's
Robert
kind of
Jordan
stopped.
died.
Yeah, he did die.
Okay, sorry. Then this just goes. Okay, wait. Retcon. Brandon Sanderson, because he finished the series.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't stand a series that goes on forever, because to be perfectly frank, most series don't have the legs to go on forever. That being said, like, as long as you keep coming up with interesting material, go for as long as you want. But I find it hard to believe that most series that have like 10 books in them literally have 10 unique books of content. Like, it's hard. Like, it's really hard to do that well. And not knocking prolific authors that have like 15 book series, like, you know, The Wandering Inn is like 50 books long, and people love it, and that's great. But like, I'm not that person. Each of my books wraps itself up and then teases what could be next. My Brother's Keeper originally, and like, this is kind of a little bit of a teaser plus some inside information. I originally planned it and I called it the Cycle of Ash because I didn't intend for the future books to follow the same main character. I thought that it would take different main characters and each one would effectively be like a standalone that builds on the next one that shows a different perspective. But people love Max so much that I worry that if I don't write more about Max, that I'll just be like run out of town on a rail.
You'll end up with a True Detective situation.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
I think.
So-
Yeah.
So
Also,
that was a
sorry.
non-answer. It was a non-answer. So I'm going to write some books, at least 3. There you go.
That's fair. I mean, to be fair, also urban fantasy that leans towards the private eye-esque thing has sort of a thing in that each book can sort of be its own self-contained. Like you can view it as long or as short as you want because each book is its own book in many ways compared to like a more traditional fantasy.
Well, it's
it's
a
more
serial
episodic.
approach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like if we were in the 70s writing Pulp Fiction, like this would be it. You'd be releasing volumes of, like, that's my second series. That's partially why I came up with the title of the Chronicles of Corbin Pierce, because that series I intend to go on for as long as I can come up with an idea. So yeah, I mean, I definitely want these to be complete series, but I'm not committed to any particular number yet.
Okay. So speaking a little bit, and you touched on this a little bit about like the ending of My Brother's Keeper, and I'm not going to say any spoilers or anything, but I did want to ask,
Okay.
did you always know that was going to be the ending?
Ooh, great question.
I wrote the book so that I could write the ending. I knew exactly that the reveal that happened first in my head. I
was
knew
good.
from the moment that I came up with it.
Yeah.
And then I had to be patient with myself to wait until I could write the reveal. So like I'm here just like banging my way through this book, like I got to get to where I can write the reveal. So yeah, I knew I wrote this book kind of starting from the end, knowing what it was going to be. And for the record, like I love the response so far from the readers has been phenomenal in that most of them I catch completely off guard. Like you wrote about it, Michael. I loved the way that you said it. It felt both surprising but also inevitable, and I loved that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those reveals that like leading up to it, you have an assumption that makes sense for the whole story. But then when the reveal happens and the turn of new information hits you, it changes your understanding of everything and it makes just as much sense, but a little bit more. And it's just like, I didn't even know this was an option.
Yeah.
It was good. That was a really good turn. Like,
Thank you.
Textbook good.
So not to pose a question to myself or maybe something that like people would comment on, like this is a challenge.
Do it.
This is a problem that I've made for myself in that like now I've written 1.5 books plus like 2 short stories since I finished writing My Brother's Keeper. So like I've talked myself through this existential crisis where I was suddenly worried that I would never write anything good again because I used it all up on this book. So yeah, like that's the other side of the coin is like continuing this series, like there's going to be an author's note in book 2 that says, I need you to understand that I can't do book 1 again, and I'm sorry. So just like bear with me.
Again, yeah.
We will forgive you.
Yeah.
I hope. Michael's like, here, we will not forgive you.
Deep down in my heart.
You did set the bar pretty high, Ben. Just I messaged Ben like 5 minutes after I got done, and I was like, I just have a question, and I asked, I was like, what direction are you going? And I was like, I really want you to go this way. I go, I totally get it if you're going that way, but I was like, I feel like people are gonna want you to go this way, and yeah, because it was just like hit you right at the end. So I think that's such a good way to put it, and I love that review too, Michael. It was really good.
Thank you. Yeah, the story itself is just like it's a full and complete story, but like you just have that little bit at the end that goes, "Oh crap, we got the whole world now. What can we do now?"
Yeah, it's tough. And again, like I have ideas. Like there's and more scripture based ideas. I actually had like a Zoom call with Jack to be like, let me run some things by you, and how do you feel about this, like scripturally? Cool. And he was like, how about these ideas? And I was like, I am sold on those ideas. So I'm being as vague as humanly possible, but I've got some really good. It's good. Once I get to writing the second book and then the third book, I was hi, whoever that was.
Somebody was trying to voice call me at the same time as I was going to the post.
That's when you just hold it up like everyone's
Right.
saying.
I was like, Mom? Right now, I'm on with somebody.
I have some really like
It was another author. I should have put him on. Dang it.
I have big things for the second and third book in the series.
Have you started writing the second book yet?
Oh no. I'm currently 90% of the way done with the second book in the Chronicles of Corbin Pierce.
Nice.
Yeah, I kind of set it up where I finish a book and then I write the next book in a different series, just to kind of keep it rotating. So like I finished writing My Brother's Keeper, and then I wrote book 4 of The Devil You Know, which is the title's A Little Death Among Friends. Then after that, I started writing the second book in the Chronicles of Corbin Pierce. So once this one is done, I'm gonna start writing, I think, book 2 of The Cycle of Ash. So soon, probably I'll start drafting it in the next like couple months.
Nice.
Is 3 series is your max to have open at one time?
But my secret, Andrew, is that I'm technically closing out one of my series.
True. So you're going down to 2? But
Well,
yeah, was 3 too much is my question. As somebody who has 2 right now, I keep looking at 3 like I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that.
how much do you like whatever sanity you still possess?
God, there's not much left. There's really not.
I mean, like, remember, if you're already burning the candle at both ends, you might as well start on the middle.
Yeah, what I just yeah.
It's fine. So yeah, the funny thing is though, I'm capping off the first series at 4 books. Uh-oh.
Whoa,
Dan is gone.
Uh-oh.
We lost our host.
our fearless leader.
Well,
All right, now
well,
it's time.
The parents are.
now-
Everybody
now it's-
misbehave.
Yeah, right. Now's
Party!
the time.
We're all still here though, so I assume this is still going.
It says it's live, so
It still is live. Yeah.
Let's
Interesting.
keep it going then.
Yeah.
So even though I'm like capping there he is.
Weird day.
He just wanted to be on the top left. That's what.
oh yeah. It was an assertion of dominance, actually.
Power move. I'm intimidated.
Excuse me for a moment.
So even though I'm capping the first series, it's a little bit of a lie, because for anyone who's a fan of the first series, I actually have this idea. So by the time you get to the third book, you understand that we've broken into 3 main characters. There's 3 POVs. And even though the fourth book is the end of the main story, I have this idea of a terrible thing that happens that causes each of the 3 main characters to have to go off and do a thing. So I'm actually planning like a separate new trilogy that has 1 book from each of the mains' perspectives, where they each get their own book about what they do during that time.
You mad scientist.
So that means that I also then have to start a 4th series at some point, because I have no sanity left.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, 3 is a lot. 3 is a lot. But then you have to remember though, because I also am trying desperately to get through recording the 3rd audiobook. So like I already have a 4th thing, and it's nuts. And frankly, I both recommend and do not recommend
Just a
it.
4th one, Ben?
Yeah.
Just a 4th thing?
Just a 4th thing.
I forgot you record your own audiobooks.
More?
So that there's a reason why I don't have audiobooks for either of my new series yet. Because I cannot make the time to like record. Though the later books, it's not just me. My partner voices one of the so for anyone who likes Amy, the goth witch in the first series, my partner voices Amy and does a phenomenal job. So it isn't just me. So once I'm done with that, maybe I will then go ahead and like solo record my new stuff. But like, if anyone's got an in at an audiobook producer that would love some good urban fantasy, you let me know, because I would love to maybe not do some of these.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's fair.
That's just wild. So, kind of like broadening out into a bigger scope here. You mentioned before we started going live that like you've only been doing this for 3 years and you got like 6 books out. What does your timeline look for each of your books? Because you seem to just be crushing through these.
Yeah, so I'm a madman. My usual process at this point, because I have slowed down a little bit, because I think so it depends on the inspiration. Sometimes a book really just kind of writes itself, and if that happens, so my books, I aim for, like, my target is usually 80,000 words. Okay, so my books are a nice, reasonably sized bucket of popcorn. You can enjoy it in a reasonable amount of time. The audiobooks are like 6.5 to 7.5 hours. I can write the draft of one of those in anywhere from 1.5 to 3 months.
That's pretty good.
And then, like, I have a process that I go through. You know, at this point, like, I feel like I've skipped the line in some of these things. I keep smacking my microphone because I have some really good, like, alpha readers that used to be beta readers. So I've just kind of like pulled everything in that, like, I draft a book, a few alpha readers get it, I get some feedback, and also shout out to my very good friend and pre-alpha reader, Tanya, because she literally reads my chapters like right after I write them and tells me whether or not I have done an adequate job. And as long as I've done an adequate job, that's usually pretty good. And so, like, my drafts are really pretty clean at this point. If I told you how close my brother's keeper was to the first draft, you'd probably be kind of mad about it.
Probably, not gonna lie.
Yeah. So, like, to be perfectly honest, the way that you publish frequently is that you cannot agonize about your book too much. Like, we all do it. You need to make sure that you're putting
Call me out,
forward
Ben.
the best story that you can. But the reality is, I don't believe in over kneading the dough when it comes to a draft. But also, again, like, I draft pretty clean. I take feedback. I make small changes that make things work. And as long as there's no, like, big plot holes or pacing problems, like, I'm most of the way there. And so, you know, then I also, I have an editor that I pay and work with who helps to make sure that my books are clean and polished. So I go through, like, a pretty rigorous, even if it is a relatively short process, all things considered. And I say short in that, like, I'm publishing like 2 books a year.
That's phenomenal,
pretty good.
considering
That's
like
very good.
a lot of indie authors are only like 2-3 years. Yeah.
Yeah, and it really depends. Like, everyone's process is different. And I start with a good beat sheet I work off of an outline at this point. I slow down if I'm feeling uncertain about something and make sure that I know where I'm going. My stories are relatively linear. Like, there are twists and turns, but it's urban fantasy. The story builds until it's done, and then it's the end of the story, and you tease the next one, and then you put the book away for 3 weeks while you do something else. So yeah, I don't know.
So Ben, can I ask if I'm still on? If my internet hasn't kicked me off?
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna so like, and you and I've talked privately. I'm like, I have my novella, and speaking of kneading the dough, like, holy crap, everything you just said, like, that's like everything I've been doing, because I've had plot holes, I've had things. So if you're somebody like me who's had this one project that has taken longer than an 80 or 90,000 word draft for a novella, like, what would you suggest to them, like, in terms of kind of like finishing off, or like, where would you say if they're having trouble figuring out like when to end and when to publish, like, what would be like part of your advice for that?
Okay, and folks here, you all need to back me up here. The most important thing that that your book has to be is entertaining in the way that you intend it to be. Okay, if it's supposed to be funny, then it should be funny. If it's supposed to be serious, it should be serious. Are you telling the story that you want to tell? And are the early, and like, you have to give it to other people to read. Are your early readers, who aren't just like family that are going to blow smoke, are they telling you that there are no significant plot holes, that your story makes sense, that your theme is clear, and that your characters are believable, your dialogue reads well? Like, perfect is the enemy of the good, and you cannot read a book that isn't published, and you cannot write book 2 if you don't publish book 1. And it really, like, and I get varying amounts of kind of like badgered when I express opinions like this, because people are like, oh no, you need to do, like, it takes 3 years to get a book out. And it's like, no, it really doesn't. It doesn't have to at all. It can if you wanted to, but like, it only happens that way if you choose. Because if your book doesn't have any glaring plot holes, if your characters and dialogue are believable, and your story is interesting and entertaining in the genre that you've chosen, why are you waiting? Like, how much better can changing that one chapter be? Like, how you have to decide what is. Once you get to the point where all you're doing is making very small incremental changes, then you're just moving like pieces around the board when it's done. And then you should decide to get some last feedback and ship it out.
Yeah, it can definitely be hard to know when to let it go.
I think that's great advice.
Yeah. I think probably the like fine tuning of that comes down to your process. Like, you, Ben, I think, do more work up front than I do. I come out with very messy drafts, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because for me, I can't feel it until I'm in it. So an outline is kind of worthless to me. Like, I usually, I kind of know where I'm going. I have ideas, but then, like, as I play with it, stuff comes out that I just would never have thought of. And so I have learned to be okay with a messy draft. And I will spend more time in editing, but what I get out of it, I'm happier with than if I try to do it up front. So, like, I think it depends, like, where you fall on that scale, too. Where, like, I might spend more time editing but less time drafting, because I'm just like, we're going to go through it. And when I hit a spot where I'm like, this is weird, I'm like, that's future me's problem. And then we come back to it, you know? So, like, it's part of it is that. But either way, there is a point where you're like, this is as good as I am right now. Okay.
Yep. So I feel like you're still pretty, like, you're prolific.
Future me is pissed right now.
Future me hates me a lot. I tell you what.
Yeah. I'm so mad at past Dan right now. Like,
it's all just which debt do you want to put yourself into, I guess. But as an author though, you're relatively
Not my soul.
prolific, and I think like you still probably spend less time cleaning up your drafts than other people would in drafting 3, 4, 5 times, and it's like. And I get draft means different things to different people, because like some people literally rewrite their entire book in draft 2, and I could never do that ever, because once the story is out of my head, I'm not writing it a second time. Like that's not how this works for me. But like some people literally, that's what they do. They don't edit. They literally retype their draft, and I'm just like, that hurts. That hurts my soul. Like thinking about that. So it all comes down to your personal process. But again, in the time that you've published your books, Andrew, and that I've published my books, there are still people who are agonizing over their first draft, and like that, I think, is where people lose the plot.
Yeah, I think you do have to be willing to be okay at being bad at things, right? My first book will always probably, hopefully, be my worst book, right? Because I don't know what I was doing. And, like, you have to be kind of okay with that, and that, like, each book will get better. There's a, like, the perfect is the enemy of the good, but also you should chase the perfect as much as you can until the time is up. And like, I don't know, find the delta, and that's where, like, the success is. But, you know, yeah, I would agree.
Well, so I feel pretentious whenever I say this, because I have an acting background, and like anyone who refers to acting as the craft, I want to like throw off a stage. But like it's the craft of writing. It is a skill as much as it is art. And as long as your first book isn't bad, then it can be good. Like, and I realize that sounds a little oxymoronic. It's a little bit of.
Thank you for deep thoughts.
No, but like, as long as your book isn't legitimately like structurally bad, there's going to be an audience for it. You know, that's the other thing for authors is understand who you're writing for and why. Because if you're writing for yourself and to please people who will like your book, you can write that third-person epistolary reverse timeline novel, and no one do whatever you want, because there's going to be an audience for it. It just may be small.
Dogs didn't like that one.
Yeah, I was gonna no.
They didn't like that answer.
Daniel, your dogs have something against third-person
Or maybe they did.
reverse timeline novels.
Apparently, they're working on the exact book you're talking about.
Like, my idea.
So yeah, I'm with you in the like, your first book is supposed to be your worst one. It's not supposed to be bad, but it's supposed to be your worst one because it is your first book.
Mission accomplished.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. He said. Oh, jeez.
That's why it's so important to learn your genre's conventions. Like, what are the readers expecting? What are the rules? That way you can do them all well and get out your first book and learn a lot by doing that process. But then once you know all the rules and you know the conventions, you know where you can break them and you can bend them to create your unique reverse timeline story.
It's now a really bad time to tell you guys I am writing a time travel urban fantasy or...
No. Time travel and reverse
I think it's the
timeline
perfect
are very
time.
different.
That's true,
Very
that's true,
different.
that's true.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, maybe you guys are telling me to
Both of
stop.
yours.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure what's
yeah,
happening.
It's like, how is Ben looking over my shoulder when
Yeah.
I'm doing this?
Am I getting predictable? Oh, no. This actually isn't a launch. It's a
He's got a time machine.
Intervention.
intervention. Yeah, thank you. I was like, where did...
I got you.
Andrew, we're here because we love you. It's time to stop.
Is this where I bring out the banner?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So Ben, you
Well,
do
I know we're
your-
winding down on
go
time a
ahead.
little bit here, so go ahead.
sorry,
I was just
Michael.
gonna
I just
say,
wanted to let people know.
Go ahead.
If this, yeah, you go first,
ahead,
Michael.
go
My
ahead.
internet sucks.
No, I was just gonna say. So you talked about doing your audiobooks. I was kind of curious, like, what was that process like when you first started ramping that up while also trying to write all these books?
I had to pick my battles in that like
Ooh, good question.
I try to so for reference, I really do write or try to make progress on a writing project every day. Like and when I write, like my goal these days, like I try to write at least 500 words a day. And I can do that reliably. Like I'm a fast drafter. I can write 500 to 600 words in like a 20 to 25 minute writing sprint. So like I can crank words out. But then I had to take time away from that to go record and then do editing. So like ramping it up, it was also like I did have to learn the skills of editing and mastering when it came to the audio. But once you do it once, it's a very repeatable process and you get faster at it like the more that you do it. It's still like hellishly long. I can't lie about that. Like it's still at least 4 hours for every finished hour of audio. If I'm lucky, it's really probably more like 4 to 5. Whereas originally it was probably 5 to 7. So yeah, ramping up is getting the right gear, which I can give opinions on if anyone wants to contact me privately about doing your own audiobooks, and learning like the skills of the audio engineering trade.
Emails.
You know, that was a that was really what I had to kind of ramp myself up on.
Nice. All right, Dan, go ahead. Before I interrupt you again, I swear.
Oh, I was just gonna say, in terms of wrapping up, in terms of winning Ben's signed copy of My Brother's Keeper, I just wanted to announce that Josh from Already Overbooked actually was our random winner there. So I think he might have left the live, but I will get a hold of him. 5 out of 5 star book there, Josh. So can't wait to contact you after this live is done. But we do appreciate everybody joining us in the chat. Or if you're watching later, I just want to remind people you can find all these amazing people here who have joined this live. You can find all of their information in the description of this live. So please make sure you not only check out Ben's books, but also Andrew's, Michael's as well, but also Michael and Chris and Andrew's podcast as well. So just want to throw that out there before we kind of started to wrap up. But Ben, do you kind of want to sign us out here a little bit, and then we can kind of go Ben, Michael, Chris, Andrew. I know I'm on top. Sorry.
Once again, the play of dominance. Yeah, happy to. As always, I am Ben Schenkman, urban fantasy author and audiobook narrator, and I am so very thrilled to have been here with all of you. Thank you so much for coming and supporting the release of my new book. One of the best things about the indie space is how we support each other, and this is just like the most perfect example of that I can take. So, thank you all. That's all I have for wrapping myself up, other than please go buy and read my books. But yeah, thank you all very much.
I think that
And
makes
review
me
them,
next.
please.
Oh yeah, definitely do that. Hey folks, Michael Vadney here, host of the Author Adjacent podcast and author of Crownfall, coming out later this month. But go check out Ben's book first. It's really good. I liked it a lot. Yeah, I think that's it for me.
And I'm Andrew Givler. I also write in urban fantasy, a series called The Debt Collection, which Ben has graciously blurbed before, so don't take my word for it. Take Ben's.
Go read it.
No, this is about you, okay?
It was awesome.
Go read
them
Ben's.
all.
Yeah, just read everything. Read everything forever. You can find me on Amazon under Andrew Givler, but be sure to check out Ben. And if you do read things, remember, ratings really matter. So especially on new stuff, be sure to tell people when you enjoy stuff. But Ben, thanks for having us. We're really excited for you.
Sorry, Andrew, can you do me a favor,
Oh no.
please? Can you just say hi to my son Nat? That's it.
Oh,
Just say hi.
yeah,
Nat.
absolutely. Hi, Nat.
Oh,
There you go.
I thought you were gonna tell me to say hit the like button, and I was like, I don't want to do it. Don't make me do it.
No.
I'm off the clock.
Andrew, you have suffered enough.
Oh man. Well, I am Chris from Bearded Book Beast YouTube channel, and I have read the first book of Andrew's and his series, and it was awesome. So definitely check out his book. Check out Michael's podcast; it's awesome, and his book is gorgeous. I'm waiting anxiously for it to come in the mail. And Ben, excited for you, man. You're just an awesome dude. One of my favorite people I've met in this world. So I'm just super excited for you. I love all your books I've read so far, and I'm sure Brother's Keeper is going to be the next one I love. So everybody check it out. He is somebody that deserves the support, not just because the books are good, because he's just an awesome dude. So congrats, man.
agreed. I'm gonna hope my internet holds up here. I do want to thank everybody for coming. Ben, I really appreciate. I was on vacation last week, so I really appreciate that you waited to, do the book launch, the release party today on this channel. So I really appreciate it. Andrew, thank you so much for coming. I absolutely love. I was just talking to another podcast the other day. I love when I can get new authors or podcasters at any point on the channel. I'm called the collector. I love getting new people on and their perspectives. It's awesome to get new people. Michael, you were on as an author, but it's great to have you on as like a podcaster too. You have such great, amazing questions. I love watching all three of your guys' podcasts. So really, really appreciate you, joining us for Ben's book launch today. Chris, I just got a shout out to you because you've been my ride or die and in every single one that I've done so far. So I always appreciate having you and just the support. But thank you guys so much for coming and for, helping Ben have, a great launch party. You guys had amazing questions, by the way, and perspectives. I'm going to actually go back and watch this myself and take down some of that advice. But I really appreciate everybody coming. And like everybody said, Ben, good luck with My Brother's Keeper. If you guys don't have, have a minute, please check out, if you have not already, check out Michael's review as well as my review. They're going to be up on our separate channels. So please make sure you do that. And like everybody said, check out Michael, Ben's, and Andrew's books, all amazing. So make sure you guys do that and make sure you review them as well anywhere, where you're finding or reading them or listening to them. And then, if you guys could also, subscribe to these three guys also to their channels, really appreciate that. But other than that, guys, this has been awesome. I had a really long, crazy day, and all I kept thinking is like 7 o'clock is going to be here soon, and it's going to be really fun. So I really appreciate everybody making it a really good time. So thank you guys so much for coming. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel, for hosting. And hey, Andrew,
cut
I can
out
say
again.
it. Hit that like button. There, see? There you go.
There you go. It's not me. It's fine.
Got it in. That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys have a great rest of the night. And per usual, everybody, enjoy your reading and, make sure you go and review those authors. But hope everybody has a great rest of the night. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.